Apey, 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 let's go crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, I'm sorry. I totally saw you there. I'm the one who turned the camera on. Hey, what's up guys? My name is Brandon Goes Rar, and today I thought that I'd show you a little bit of my Disney pin collection. So I figured, what better way to start off something that I want to do every so often than start off from the very beginning. My very first pins. So my very first pin happens to be this one. Granted, it was first my mom's pin, and I saw it on her purse, and I instantly fell in love. I remember I was just sitting in the car, and I was looking at her purse, and I really liked the little American flag Mickey that I saw. I told her that I really liked it, and she told me that I could have it. And then we went to Disney World a few months later, and I saw a whole shelf of pins. And I was like, oh my goodness, Mom, or Mommy, I was 5. Please, can we get like the entire shelf? She didn't let me get the entire shelf, but she did buy me a lot. And my dad bought me a lot too. And it just kind of kicked off a collection that I didn't really know that I was doing. I didn't really know at the time that I was starting a collection, but we'll get into that. Now this pin board behind me is blank, and what I would like to do through these videos, whenever I show you more pins, is I would like to start adding to the pin board. Because right now, they're in a, what do you call it? Pin bag, trading bag, trader's bag. They're in that, but they probably shouldn't be because they're all like, they're not like poked into the sides. They're just kind of carelessly sitting in there. But I figured I'm gonna start taking better care of my pins, and what better way to do that than put them up here. So here goes my very first pin that I've ever had up there. Boom. There we go. Alright, now the second pin that I ever got was actually from the Disney store. They were a like limited edition thing. If you are a 90s kid like me, you'll definitely know the show, hopefully. When Roly Poly Oly, I think this is what happened. Roly Poly Oly came out on DVD for something. Maybe it was a VCR tape, maybe it was VHS. So this Roly Poly Oly pin came in the limited edition box or whatever. I don't remember, quite frankly, but I do remember that I got it with whatever the video was. I don't know that I've ever seen them out in the parks before. I've never seen them. I've seen like a couple on eBay and they only sell for like 12 bucks, but they're very rare, as in I have never seen them. I mean, it's Roly Poly Oly. Wow. Alright, now the rest of these are from the day that I just told you about where we all went to Disney World. I just saw, and it just like blew my mind when I saw the entire rack. And I probably stood there for hours. I mean, I stand there for hours now when I go every single day. Every single day? I don't go that often. Every other week. Whenever I go, I spend at least like 30 minutes to like 2 hours just checking out the new pins. And if there isn't any, I leave. But like, if there is a lot, my friends will actually have to like pry me away from the counter or the shelf or the little spinny spin. Here's my very first pins. First off, I'm not athletic whatsoever now. My hand-eye coordination is, it doesn't exist. When I think I was 5 when I started collecting. So when I was 5 years old, I was very into soccer. So this Mickey Mouse pin playing soccer is what I think, if I can remember correctly, all the way back I almost call myself 25. If I can remember about 16 years ago, back in the past of my adolescent, innocent boyhood, this was the first one that I just had to have because Mickey spoke to me. I play soccer too! Oh, I play soccer too! Oh boy! I'm gonna stop now. Waha! And then the next one, I think my dad really liked this one. I really liked it too because it's Pluto. I really like it. He's really adorable. So that's the thing. I picked that one up next because I love dogs. I have 13 of them. Nevertheless, I like dogs, and I love Pluto. I mean, who doesn't love Pluto? Now the next one that I found, which I can never trade, mostly, well, I don't want to ever trade these first ones, but if I ever became insane enough to trade my first pins, I couldn't trade this because it is a name pin. But yes, my next pin actually came from a very conceited place. Hey, it says my name on it, I need it. Now my next pin after that came from a little bit of a less conceited place. This is the May birthstone Minnie Mouse, and the reason why I got the May birthstone is because that's the month that my mother was born in, and for some reason when I was 5 years old, I was already thinking about that. I was thinking about, I want to get a Minnie Mouse to commemorate my mom, and because I love my mom, and I want to have a collectible that reminds me of my mother. Now the next pin that I ever got is because I have a huge love for elephants. There was one point that I had a shelf above my door full of at least 200 elephants, but my cat decided, hey, I want to jump up on your shelf from my dresser. It all came crashing down in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. And I woke up to about 100 shattered elephants on the ground. Anyways, because of my love for elephants, my next pin was the baby elephant from the Jungle Book. So that's very special to me. And I just think he's so adorable, him tooting from his little trunk and his little smile on his face. I think that's absolutely adorable. So that was my next pin. Now, I'm actually not going to put him up on the board just yet because I have a future video planned for him, and he's not gonna be like in my line of first pins. I mean, he probably should be, but as it's my collection, I would like to separate him into his own little group. Alright, now the next pin that I ever got was this Donald, because it was my dad's favorite character. I was like, well, I got my mom's pin, and I asked my dad, what's your favorite pin, and what's your favorite character? And he responded to me, Donald. So I got Donald in his little sailor suit. And there we go, there's Donald. But my next pin is Sully. Now I got Sully about a few years after I got all those pins. Whenever the Monsters Inc. movie came out, I was at Disney again, as I'm there all the time. I was at Disney again, and I looked at the pin rack, and I noticed that Mike and Sully were on there. This one's Mike. So when I was there, I noticed that they were on the racks, and I really liked them. So those were the next two pins that I got. Now one of the things that I really like about Sully is that he's got like a really fuzzy belly, and I've never really seen that on any other Disney pins where it's like textured, like, yeah, it's like different levels of metal to give it like a textured feeling, but I've never seen like actual like fuzzy texture on it. So I thought that was really unique. So those were my next two pins, like a little bit down the road. Now put you here, and now put you here. There we go. When did I turn into Mario? Now going back to when I got my other pins, this is an Animal Kingdom pin. It's a very old Animal Kingdom pin, and you don't really see it too often. Well, you don't see it anymore, actually, because they've got new Animal Kingdom pins. So even though it's not limited edition, it's very old, and it was the exact same day that I got my whole like lot of pins. So that was really cool. So I'm assuming that I got all my pins from Animal Kingdom when I visited when I was 5 years old, but that's exactly where I got my pins from, and the little story behind that. I'm not going to put this pin on the pin board either, just because, like I said, I have different places that I want to put things. So that will be in another, this will be brought up again in another video. I won't go into too much detail about it, but you'll see when I put it on the pin board in the video that I decided to put it on, which should be next video. And now, the moment that we've all been waiting for! The pin that got me into collecting. We haven't all been waiting for that. How would you guys have known? I'm gonna show you now. Brrr. Donald riding on a jet ski at summer in Disneyland 2001. What the story behind this pin is, I went to Disney World with a couple of family friends, and they were avid pin collectors. Like, I'm talking like 10 lanyards, a jean jacket, a jean vest full of pins, hats full of pins, sunglasses full of pins, contacts stuck with pins in them. Ow. But no, like, it was like, it blew my mind. And then there was like actual like pin conventions. I didn't know that there was pin conventions. Nobody told me that there was pin conventions. What? So there was pin conventions, and I was just like, I was blown away, and I needed to become part of this pin collectors group. So I asked them, like, how do I get started? And they were like, well, you need a lot more pins than that, bucko. So they gave me a choice of this, like, they had like 20 books of pins that they were willing to just give away and trade. And I figured, what better pin, after looking at all of them for about 20 minutes, what better pin to choose than something that will never ever, it wasn't limited edition, granted, but something that will never ever ever be made again after 2001. The Donald jet ski pin. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it up here, we're gonna boom, and we're gonna lay it out, and we're gonna straighten it, and we're just gonna boom. Alright guys, well my name is Brandon Goes Raw. I make videos every single Tuesday and Friday, so make sure to smash that like button if you enjoy these pin videos. Do you enjoy these pinios? Do you like these pin videos? Leave them down in the comments below. Let me know, like, do you collect pins? Do you have any stories behind your pins? Do you, what was your very first pin if you collect pins? Are you getting into it now because you were inspired by me? I don't know if I'm that much inspiring, but that'd be really cool if you did get into it because of me. Let me know if you want me to make more videos like this. I have tons of more in a bag, so make sure to comment that below. Let me know all of your feedback. And with that, I leave you with two videos right here that I know you're gonna love because I picked them out especially for you. My name is Brandon Goes Raw, and I leave you with peace, love, unity, and respect. Bye guys.